Hi everybody, my name is Shane Small, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the Bronze Age collapse. Now, the Bronze Age was the age that civilization was in from around 3500 BCE to about 200 BC, but today we're going to be focusing on the what's known as the cradle of civilization, that's the Middle East, and their Bronze Age ended around 1200 BC. I mean, it still kind of was going on, but it was so vastly impacted by outside sources that it kind of stopped being the big, the big bad in the Bronze Age, if you will. Before I officially get started, I do need to let you know that the Bronze Age collapse is sort of a historical mystery to us. A lot of the information we have is very little. Not much has survived over the years, and honestly, the whole collapse itself just kind of came out of nowhere. Excuse me. Um, so the basic rundown of the Bronze Age collapse is essentially that all these societies in the Middle East, I'm talking Babylon, Sumer, Egypt, the Hittites, all those guys, their civilization got hit hard, like very, very hard. So hard, in fact, that after this, when we start going to the Iron Age, civilization starts moving away from the coasts. That's how hard they got hit. They start moving to like valleys, mountainous areas, areas hard to get to, and starting to stay away from like coastal cities. Uh, now, when the collapse happened, uh, all these civilizations were relying on each other, as we can see by this map. And I probably should have these side by side, but oh well. Uh, there are plenty of ore deposits in this area. The main two that we're going to be concerned with right now are copper, that's this kind of maroonish here, and tin, that's the gray right there. These are important because that's what you use to make bronze. So what would happen is if any one of these in these areas that had these huge deposits of this, uh, oh man, this ore, uh, if they fell, then trade would stop, and it would just be harder to keep making your tools, your weapons, etc., etc. Um, sorry for the creaking, but it's kind of where I'm recording. Uh, now the map here that I'm showing you does give kind of an idea about what happened, when it was happening. Well, not really when, just when some battles were won around here. Uh, Apparently, civilization did fight back, and when Egypt does stay a pretty powerful player well into the Roman era, so it's kind of hard to take them down. But everyone else, they kind of get wrecked. What happened is a mix of logistical issues and battles. A lot of battles happened. What happened is people from the sea, or the sea peoples, came in from the ocean and would just destroy, absolutely pillage, sack all of these coastal cities. They'd come from up here, Black Sea, Mediterranean, just wrecked face. Not it must have been a bad time. So bad, in fact, that, like I said, after this, civilization would move to mountainous areas, hidden valleys, just stay away from the coast. Oh man, don't know where this cough came from. Where was I? Not very professional. I am sorry. As I was saying, like it was the coastal cities that were really hit. Just easier for these sea peoples, and even the sea peoples are a mystery. There's no information on where they came from, who they were. That's the big one. We don't know who they were. We guessed they were just migrants. They just moved, kind of like Vikings, if you want to think that way. Essentially Vikings, but Bronze Age Vikings. And I did mention that there were some logistical issues with the economics. There wasn't very good keeping in some of these areas for economic reasons. So it just, once one went, they'd think they'd have more ore or something, and they didn't. And now there's a civilization that can't give ore to a new one, and a civilization that needs ore to get prepared for the incoming sea people to try to defend themselves, and they can't. So essentially, it's just like a perfect storm of logistical issues and invading peoples that kind of destroyed the cradle of civilization, if you will. That's kind of all I can get into for 7 minutes. I know I did take like a minute or two coughing and whatnot. I do apologize, but I do hope that you go and look into this yourself, because like it's amazing. You know, like how does this happen? It's kind of what I want to leave you with. How does that happen? Thank you and goodbye.